This video is going to be dedicated to the hamstrings and the glutes, and there are several progressions or variations of this that we can do. Ready? They all work from the same or similar position here. So if you lie down on your back with your knees bent, and I like to sort of gauge the distance of this first one by making sure I can just about brush my heels with my fingertips. That should be about the distance of your legs. Your feet about hip width apart. Then all you're going to do to start activating the glutes and the hamstrings is just to come up into I think this is a bridge position, I'm not sure. You want to concentrate on making sure your knees don't flare out. So imagine you've got a block, like a yoga block. If you do actually have a yoga block, you can use it. Otherwise, just imagine you've got something between your knees that you can't let drop. And you really want to squeeze your glutes and feel the tension in your hamstrings as well. The muscles that run from your glutes, your buttocks down to the backs of your knees. And just make sure in this position, which you can either hold like I'm doing, or just gently lower and raise back up. Whichever way you do it, just make sure you're not feeling any strain in your lower back. If you are, play with the placement of your feet. Maybe move them a little bit further away or a little bit closer to you. And probably most importantly, just make sure that your buttocks are really squeezed, and that should protect your lower back. So if you want to do a few reps or hold for a little bit of time with both legs, and then start to advance that a little bit by doing the single leg lift. So you start to develop that unilateral strength. Do on both sides, and you can either do it with your foot resting on your knee like I am right now, or raise one leg up straight in the air and do the same. And if you want to play with not using your arms, have your arms up in the air or behind you, and see the difference that makes. Makes it just a little bit more intense. So make sure you do both sides. And then if you want to advance that a little bit further, or rather not advance it further, but if you want to add in another element to this, you can raise up into this initial position, squeezing your buttocks and feeling it in your hamstrings. Lift one leg straight up in the air. So you can start from the beginning, do a raise, and then bring that leg down out to the side so you get a nice stretch, lengthening and strengthening of the hip adductor. And when you bring it back in, you're working the adductor and abductor. Meanwhile, you're really maintaining tension in the other side, your other glute and hamstring. You can do a number of reps on each side. So if you want to start from the beginning, raise up, lower the leg out to the side to get a really nice stretch. Just only go as deep as you can. So try and keep your hips raised, unlike what I was just doing, and then bring it back up. And you can just perform that routine for a number of reps. And that should really wake up your glutes, your hamstrings, and the muscles that act on opening up the hips. And if you want to move into a slightly different position that favours the hamstrings a little bit more than the glutes, but definitely works the glutes too. So extend your feet out quite far, so you've got a relatively shallow bend in your legs. And I like to just do this on my heels. And again, just raise up in that position and play with flexing your feet, your ankles, and see how that really affects your hamstrings. You should really feel it just in this isometric hold. You don't really have to do anything else other than this. Just hold this for time, or if you want, you can lower and raise. And then if you want to, lift one leg up off the floor. I'm really feeling that in my right hamstring. Bring my foot back and do the same again. Really feeling that in my left hamstring. And from that assortment of moves, you can develop your own little routine. You can start developing more strength and solidity and range of motion and mobility, which is a nice rhyme, in your glutes and your hamstrings and your hips. Hip hop, hooray, ho! Enjoy.